All right, so it's 5:05, and like I promised, we are going to be starting now. So, good evening, everyone, and it feels so good to be back again for another ALP session. The one we had last week Saturday was very nice, very intriguing, and this particular ALP session feels like a sequel to the last one we did um last week Saturday, right? So if you were with us last week Saturday, you already know we don't do average conversations, right? Yes, last week Saturday's conversations was very nice, very eye-opening, and I felt, inspired and motivated to do more, to increase my brain's neuroplasticity, to train my brain, to not totally and heavily rely on AIs and ChatGPT, to just push myself out there. And I really hope each and every one of us learned something last week. Last week we talked about becoming an industry ready graduate, and this week today we're going to be talking about the business side of the energy industry, the business side of the energy industry, strategies for the new energy economy, strategies for the new energy economy, right? So today isn't just about energy. We're not just talking about energy, but it's about understanding the strategy behind energy. Are you feeling me? Right. So it's about understanding the structure, the money, the decisions, because beyond pipelines and productions, there's positioning. So I really want each and every one of us to stay present, stay sharp, stay engaged. All right. And most importantly, get your pens, get your notepad, because I still have a lot of notes that I took from the past ALP sessions, and I'm really looking at them right now, and I'm like, wow, I've learned a lot from all the ALP sessions that we've taken in the past. So I really want us to get our pens and our notepads ready to also gain a lot from today's ALP session. So once again, good evening, everyone. To everyone that was able to make out time for today's session, I say thank you, because for me Saturdays are for resting, right? But ALP sessions are nice as well. So to formally set the tone for today's session, would be calling on the president of SP Lasso to give us our welcome address.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. If you can hear me, can I get a thumbs up? Or someone should just say something?
Say
Okay.
something.
All right. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, distinguished guests. Good evening, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege, in a way, to welcome every single one of you to today's edition of our SP LASU ALP session. And I am really, really glad to have every single one of us here today. And today, our esteemed speaker, Mr. Promise Okeke, we are really deeply grateful for his willingness to share his knowledge and experience with every single one of us today. And his presence here speaks to his dedication and commitment to the development of the next generation of energy professionals, which is you and I on this call today. And we do not take his presence here lightly, right? So, to every student, every young professional, every industry expert who will be joining us or who is joining us from different parts of the country, different locations, I want to say a big welcome, right? Your time and attention and your presence, it's a great deal to us. It means a great deal to us. So today's topic, the business side of the energy industry, I choose to see it as a topic that could not be more timely, right? Because if we take a look at the energy landscape today, it continues to evolve, right? People are pushing for sustainability. There's a rise of renewable energy systems. The market dynamics is shifting, right? So it's no longer enough for us to just be technically sound. We need to also understand the business and the strategic dimensions of the energy industry, right? So it's very essential for every energy professional who wants to remain relevant and impactful in the energy sector to know about this side, right? And we at SPE LASU, we are committed to connecting that gap, bridging that gap, ensuring that our members are not just technically competent, but also business aware, right? And strategically minded. You see, so for every ALP session we have our members at the center of it all, at the heart of it all. And this webinar is a reflection of that commitment that we have. So once again, I am very, very happy for every single one of you guys on this call. And I want to welcome you all. And I look forward to a very, very engaging, a very enriching, and very interactive session this evening. So thank you very much. And yeah, let's have a great session together. Over to you, Mercy.
All right. Thank you very much. Can we have a virtual round of applause for our president, in the person of Agose Sylvester? Thank you very much for that one. And to those who are just joining us, it was a bummer. You missed the proper welcome address from the president, but it's fine. I will still welcome you nonetheless. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Mercy Obano, and I'm the sustainability lead for SP Lasso, and I'll be your host or moderator for today's session. So, before we dive into the business conversations, let's ensure we create a smooth and engaging atmosphere for everyone. So, right now, we'll be taking our safety brief. The original ISP does it safety first, always, even online. So we'll be having our safety brief now. Number one, mute your mic when you're not speaking. Number two, raise your hands to speak. Number three, use the chat box if you have any questions. Number four, be at alert and aware of your environment. Number five, always maintain a good sitting posture. And lastly, always stay safe, right? So that those are basically the safety brief slash webinar etiquette for today's webinar. So for those just joining us, if you want to immediately you joined, please unmute your mic, and if you're not speaking, please unmute your mic, and if you want to speak, you can always raise your hand or type in the chat box. So to confirm if you can all hear me, can I get a virtual reaction? All right, thank you very much. All right, so very quickly to the moment we've all been waiting for, we'll be starting today's session proper. And right now, I'm going to be introducing the speaker for today's session in the person of Mr. Promise Okeke. Mr. Promise is an illustrious energy professional with over 5 years' experience leading various teams, organizations towards tremendous growth. He holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from the prestigious Nnamdi Azikiwe University. He is a multiple award-winning leader who has served in various leadership positions, such as the president of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers from 2021 to 2022 and the national deputy student leader of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers representing Southeast Zone from 2023 to 2024. He also served as the communications chairperson of the Society of Petroleum Engineers around 2021 to 2022, amongst many others. With a passion for personal and professional development, he has worked with global brands and individuals in creating young professionals towards in training young professionals towards growth and development. Through his leadership impact and community development, he has earned multiple awards and recognitions such as the Niseki Presidential Merit Award in 2024, then the Award of Recognition and Leadership and Excellence at the SPE Presidential Appreciation Award, amongst others. So Promise currently works at the Business Development Department at Geoplex Drew Tech Limited, where it builds and sustains relationship between the company, government, and suppliers in the upstream sector of the oil and gas industry, drives sales, and propels growth. So, if your hands are not too busy, and even if they are, can we have a virtual round of applause for our speaker for today's session in the person of Mr. Promise Okeke? All right, so Mr. Promise, you have the floor, please. All right, Mr. Promise Okeke, if you can hear me, you can speak now.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know my mic was muted. Good afternoon, everybody. It's amazing to be here. I just want to confirm if you can actually hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you so much for that presentation and for the introduction. That's way above me, but but thank you so much. Firstly, I would love to thank the leadership of XP Lasso for this opportunity to speak at their ALQ session. It's an amazing one. Anytime I get the opportunity to speak to students, about the energy industry. I always take it to heart. It's an amazing one. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, moderator. Also, it's nice to be here. I think this is my first time speaking to SPE Lasso students. I think the last time I spoke to Lasso students was NSCHE. Yes, so it's amazing. So just so that I'm in sync. Please, moderator. I'd like to know how much time I have so that I know I don't exceed time because I'm always time conscious. And I'll be sharing my screen now if that's fine.
All right, Mr. Promise, you have over 30 to 45 minutes, thereabout. 30, 35,
Okay,
45 minutes, yeah.
thank you so much. Um, yes. Uh, okay, please confirm you can actually see my screen.
Yes,
Okay,
we can.
beautiful. Thank you. So I'll be speaking basically on the business side of the energy industry. A simple guide to exploration and production, business development, client management, and also strategies for positioning in the new energy economy. Just as I was introduced, my name is Promise Okeke, Business Development at Geotech Limited. Firstly, I'd like to say it's amazing once again speaking at SP. Just like my profile has said, I'd worked in various positions in it. I think I came into SP during my I think 200 level, 100 level in school. I can't remember from, when I was introduced by an amazing Miss Kaito. I don't know how many persons here know of Kaito Chukudi. If you know, can you just use a reaction? I think a few persons should know her. You know, yes, yes. Thank you, Samiat. Yes. So introduced on Miss Kaito, she has been some sort of like a mentor in the energy industry, and we're tied together. I'm sure some of you have seen that we're actually building the energy tribe together too. So yes. So came into SP during that time, and it's been a beautiful ride ever since. Worked as the communications chairperson, and look at other little positions and volunteer positions also. So basically, the business side of the energy industry, the business, the money, we know about the energy industry, all right? We know what the energy industry entails, in terms of oil and gas, in terms of you know green energy, in terms of different part of the energy industry. But now I want to understand the business aspect, the business part. What does it take? What happens? How is the contract being made? How is this signed? What happens, in this business part? And that's the little I will share with us today, and also strategies on how you can position as students and also recent graduates. Okay, first of all, what is oil and gas? What is oil and gas E&P, exploration and production? A lot of us already know this E&P stands for exploration and production. Exploration and production, this is a way, whereby oil and gas companies, most oil and gas companies, they look for fuel, the explore under the ground to get they explore and they either they drill the ground, they drill onshore or they drill offshore. Offshore is mostly in the middle of the ocean, or onshore is on land or very close to the ocean but not really deep into the ocean. So they drill they get the oil, they refine it, they sell it to us. Basically that's the exploration and production. We know that oil and gas right into the upstream, midstream and the downstream. The exploration and production are mostly exploration and production is about the upstream industry, you understand? So most IOCs are, E&Ps, that's exploration and production companies, companies like Chevron, ExxonMobil, Renaissance, Chevron, but most of these companies are also amazing places to work. So you can actually add this to your dream if you want to get into oil and gas. Actually, intern in Chevron in 2023. It was a beautiful experience. So basically, that's what oil and gas E&P is, exploration and production, how to find the gas. the oil, where they find it, things that they do to, get the oil. They drill, they extract the oil, through their rigs and all of that. So that's not where we are going. Just follow me. I'm trying to build up to that place. Now, what is business development? Now, we are talking about the business side of the energy industry, right? So, in every company, or let me, since we are looking in terms of oil and gas and energy as a whole, every energy company have a business development department. Or you can say we have business development. You understand? Because these are very, very key people in the industry or in the company. Because without these people, most times the company won't win contracts, and when they don't win contracts, they want to make money and all of that. And most times, where this kind of persons are key is in um, oil and gas servicing companies. The leads of oil and gas servicing companies, for example, Geoplex, um, uh, Matrix Energy, we have Netco, we have a few of them, oil and gas servicing companies, but not E&P. So what is business development? Like I said here, you can call them the hunters because their goal is to bring in new business and revenue, into the company. The activities include finding new clients, finding new clients. You see, events and programs like that. For instance, the one SK just had, the Lagos Energy Week. We also know about the SciPec that happened, I think about some weeks ago. These are places where you find business developers or those in business development go into and try to win clients. They speak to different persons, show them what their company is offering, how their companies can be of help, and things like that. And that's where they try to win clients. So the business development is basically trying to bring in new clients for the company. Because truth is that in the oil and gas industry, there's a lot of deals, there's a lot of contracts. Either maybe, okay, Shell is trying to drill a well, so they are looking for companies that's going to drill the well for them because they are an IOC, they are exploration and production. So they are looking for an oil and gas servicing company that's going to drill the well for them and will pay them. Or maybe they're trying to do a maintenance on their rig. They're looking for companies that are trying to do this. Oh, so most times, and there are so many oil and gas servicing companies. So you ask yourself, how do you position yourself or your company to actually win this contract so that your company can make money? And this is where the development team comes up. So they go, they have meetings, they push themselves, or to these IOCs or these EMPs, and then they win the contract and they go, they are already making money for the company. So they bring in new clients, they find new clients, they win new contracts. That's why I say there's so many contracts. And also we know that in Nigeria right now, new rigs are being opened, new oil wells are being given out or being sold or being taken over, and then a lot of oil and gas companies are going to spring forth. Thereby, a lot of opportunities, a lot of contracts is going to spring forth with these new oil wells. The major companies that get this oil, partnership that get this oil wells are going to be, looking for companies that will help them maybe set up a rig, drill the oil, maintenance, different kind of stuff, wireline, slick line, and a lot of them. So how do you now position yourself for this? Building partnerships. Like I said, in the oil and gas industry, there's a lot has to do with partnership. It's not just pen and paper. A lot has to do with partnership. One wrong mistake, can cost you your company in the energy industry. That's just the truth. For instance, now you're being paid. Let's say, for instance, Joplex is being paid to drill a well, and we went and we made a mistake, or there's a loss in hole. Loss in hole is in oil and gas is times when an equipment, or the rig is being left into the hole, like it dismantles and enters into the drilling hole and all of that. Most times that can be the end of the well, except on few occasions where they are able to recover that equipment. So something as that, I won't say lead to something in that magnitude can already cost your company, because that's going to cost so much millions of dollars to recover that, or if that, even if that well is going to be able to be recovered. And most times when what's spread out like that, no one is going to give your company a job like that, or even any job in oil and gas. Most times that can be like the end of your company. So building part. So that's why partnership is also important. So you build partnership. Most jobs in the oil and gas world or the energy industry, it, you hardly find a company that does it alone, except it's very little project. But when you hear of big projects, most time companies partner. For instance, Joplex can win a contract to maybe drill a well or set up a rig or maybe a turnkey project and all of that. And you see us partnering with companies like Libra Energy, Geotech, um, so a lot of other companies to even Baker Hughes, Schlumberger, Halliburton will partner with them. There's what we call profit sharing. There's what's called partnership agreement. You partner, okay, you take 60% of the job, you take 40 or this, take 60, I take 40, 20, share the profits. There's also little things that comes in is being shared because most times your company alone cannot do the whole project, except you're going to delay in time or you don't have all the equipment to be able to, you know, get this project done. So that's why most times building partnerships is very, very important. And entering new regions, even oil and gas melting companies that are being established in Nigeria here and they are very good and have projects in Angola. They can have projects in Angola, they can have projects in Texas, they can have projects in different companies, I mean different countries, even countries that they've not been to before. Why? Because their business development team is able to push themselves, push the companies to investors, to IOCs, to ERPs, and show that the company can actually do this task. So basically the business development, the people who go out and bring work into the company. That's what they do basically, in layman's terms. This is what business development team does. They go out to bring job into the company. Now, I'm going to share what's it account management. Now, in business in the energy industry, after the business developers goes out and bring, maybe they win a new contract or they win a new deal or anything in that sort, there's now what is called account manager. These are the people that will now manage that contract till its execution, and not just till its execution, but also after its execution. Because in the energy industry, you know, relationships and partnerships is key. So after a contract, you don't just end the relationship, don't just end partnership. Joblex can have a relationship with Baker Hughes, and because currently we do a lot of work with Baker Hughes. So after we do this job and all, we don't just end the relationship or partnership with Baker Hughes or think we can just do anything to them. No, we still leverage this relationship because the next time Baker can have their own contract and then they'll be looking for another company to work with them on it and they will come to Joplex and everybody is making money. So account management now are people who manages the account and most times they manage the IOC's account and the NOC's. IOC's is the international oil companies, NOC's are the national oil companies. For instance, in Joplex, you have people that manage Chevron account. Now accounts is just let me just say manage client management, just on that account to clients because each client have an account manager. For example, we have someone who manages Chevron. That means every deal, every contract, every project that's coming from Chevron into Geoplet, we have somebody that is in charge of that. Or let me see, a team, maybe a team of two or three or four that's in charge of that. But we have a dedicated account manager that's in charge of Chevron. So anything that has to do with Chevron contract goes to this person. So this person is the one that is one that is their job to, build their relationship with Chevron, maintain that relationship, always trying to win the contract because it doesn't mean that because Chevron gives you this particular contract, meaning all other contracts are the one that they are going to give. It doesn't work like that in the energy industry. Everybody is free to bid for that contract. So if you can win it this time around and you might not win it the next time because another company has maybe done a better job than you. So that's why most times you have to build these relationships. The relationships are key, partnerships are key in everywhere, or also in the oil and gas industry, even as you're doing in the university, in politics or the likes, in life general relationships that is key also. So the account managers, you can call them the farmers. Their goal is to protect and grow existing businesses. So they protect and grow. They are not going to have anything happen, to your partnership within their company and another company. So the activities include maintaining relationship, just like I said, they maintain the relationship. Like the account manager for Chevron and Geoplex, make sure that Geoplex and Chevron have a good relationship. Because you can the truth is that anything can happen at the rig on the well. Joplex might be doing a job for Chevron and we have an issue that maybe costs like $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million and all. And just to bring to your notice, in energy industry, a lot of things are priced in dollars, even in Nigeria here. Most times they do a 60-40 kind of payment, 60 USD and 40 Naira. Most times it's 50-50. But most times also always 60-40. So a lot of things are priced in dollars because Everything that's to do with the energy industry is very, very expensive, and that's why there's a lot of money there. So maintain relationship, you can have that issue that costs much thousands of dollars, and and we don't have because of Chevron is our client, and we know we don't want to destroy that partnership, that trust that Chevron has built with us. We tend to and try to find a way around it. Most times we use our money to make sure that this thing works well. Sometimes we cut on our losses and all of that. We do a lot of things when it comes to account management. That's why most times something as little as sending hampers, Christmas package at the end of the year is also account management. Because every account manager will bring out the list of their clients. Who do you think Jobless should send Christmas hampers or Christmas gifts or stuff like that? This is how you maintain relationship. Don't just think because somebody is your friend and yeah, just because both of you are now friends, and that's just where the the work ends. It doesn't end like that. Just like in normal life, your friend, you always have to be intentional about their birthdays. Like when your friend is having a birthday, you have to be intentional too. Most times I stay awake till midnight just to make sure I wish my fellow guy, not even a lady, my fellow guy, a happy birthday. You understand? Time I have, I can send him a gift, I can send him money. You understand, and stuff like that. Because that is relationship is constant work, it's everyday work. Trying to remember. I have my friend's birthday stored on my phone as in a reminder each year, Google Calendar. So I'm being reminded a week before. So that is the ones I can't remember always. That there are ones that you already know their birthdays. There are ones that Google helps you remember a week before so you can plan for their birthday. So this is the same thing in the business world, in the energy world. You maintain that relationship. Maybe when Chevron is celebrating maybe 100 and what year anniversary of their company, or an important person in the company celebrating a work anniversary, a marriage anniversary, or your account manager is responsible for because I'm trying to maintain that relationship. You can go wish the person a happy birthday, happy work anniversary, send gifts, stuff like that. Not it to actually make them that the next job they're going to give it to you. No, but just to maintain a good relationship because it helps solving problems. I spoke about issues that maybe occur in the week, and then you have to be available. See, when you're working in the business development department, although you work a 9 to 5, and maybe 5 days in the office, I know, but you have to be available every single day. Saturday and Sunday. I'm not saying you're coming to work on Saturday and Sunday, but you have to be available for any issue that might occur. If there's an issue on the rig and everything, you are the first point of contact. Those in the rig are going to call because so that you are the one in direct contact with the client and all. For instance, now today is Saturday, and this is the sixth. If in Nigeria, that's if everyone here is listening from Nigeria. Well, yeah, and I'm in the office. I'm currently in Geoplex, Lagos office, because we're working on some things. But then that's what I'm trying to say. Now, ensuring project runs smoothly, that is the duty of the account managers too. And also you ensure the project runs smoothly from the time the project is being given to the execution to payment, and even after the project is done, after the project is delivered, you still maintain this relationship and finding upsell opportunities. For example, Chevron has a week. Forgive me, I always use Chevron, maybe because I interned there. They're always on my mind. Chevron has a rig and they're trying to drill the rig and also extract oil. But now the project that they want to give to Geoplex is only to drill, but not to extract. Now Geoplex, the account manager that is responsible for that, can poach them for an upsell that, if you are drilling the rig, why not just give us the contract to also extract it? You can, so that since you can do both instead of giving different companies different part of the contract, and since you can do both and save costs and all of that, why not we just do it? So to upsell. The bottom line, the people who protect and grow the business you already have. This is what account managers in. I might be rushing because I think my time is good. Now, the difference between, that the simple difference between the business development and the account managers, the developers, that the guys in the business development team are also the account managers. But most times, each you can be a business developer bringing big different deals for or different projects or for Geoplex, but then you have a dedicated account you're working in, and you can work in more than one account. You understand? I can be the account manager for Chevron, Shell. Shell is not called Renaissance, by the way. I can be the account manager for Geoplex. I mean, for Chevron, Renaissance, all other companies, and maybe even Baker Hughes, J, and all of that, or new course for Notion. and all. And I can also and I'm still a business developer because I'm still going out and still bringing more deals, bringing more clients for Geoflex. Basically, now the role of the business developer is to bring the opportunity. That is for instance, convincing Shell to give you a contract. Now, but the role of the account manager is to keep and grow it. You understand the action managing Shell so that they pay on time and give you more project. Payment is key in the oil and gas industry. Payment is key in energy industry. Sometimes you can finish a project, it can take a while before they're in the process of payment because there's a lot that goes on and goes on. But you have to always be, you know, in front of it to make sure that you get your money fully. You understand? So this is the difference between business development and account management. They're basically the same department, but then their roles, are a little bit distinct. So the skill now, the key skill to managing strong personalities like in the oil and gas world, in the energy world, is a game of power, is a game of strength, is a game of relationships, is a game of there's a lot of game being played in the energy world, and if you're not really positioned, you can be wiped out, you can be messed around with, you can be tossed around with. You understand? So this is it's business. It's nothing personal. It's business. Looks like we're saying here the business part of the energy industry. A game of influence. Thank you, gospel. A game of influence. You understand? You don't expect for instance, don't expect the maybe the Africa regional manager for you don't expect people to give the level of honor and respect they give for the Africa regional manager for Chevron to let me say the same respect they give to the GM of Matrix Energy. Now, the game of influence when the Africa regional manager for Chevron is speaking, the GM of Matrix Energy keeps quiet. You understand? The game of influence, but then you know, how do you align yourself in this atmosphere? The secret skill, ego management. Everybody has an ego. There's a saying that men have pride in them, which that is true. But every single person, both male and female, have egos. They have pride, and that pride can be managed. That ego can be managed. You understand? Ego management. Now, you don't manage this. If you manage this in the wrong way, they're going to trample on you. You understand? People are going to think less of you. They're going to trample on you or your company. But if you manage it on the right way, you're learning to build and leverage relationship because the truth is you're just trying to get paid. You're trying to make the money. You understand? You're trying to get paid and do the job right too. Because then if you know in the oil and gas world, like I said, energy world, if your company is already giving you bad names like that, maybe within 3 years you have already had like four lost in holes. I'm not sure you're going to get any job ever again. You understand? But then when you manage these egos well, you're going to be able to get so much jobs. For example, the wrong approach now is appeasing, whatever you say, you know, it already weakens you, just like even as the GM of Matrix Energy, even if I'm speaking to the regional Africa regional manager of Chevron, I'm still going to there's a way you still manage ego, there's a way you should carry yourself so that you're not being thought of less. You understand? Not everything they say you just agree with because you're trying to get the job. No, they're going to mess around with you. You're going to lose money. You're going to be underpaid and all of that. The challenging is that and when you're challenging, that's the wrong approach. You don't appease and you don't challenge, like you're wrong. You trigger the defense. For example, when two people are trying to negotiate or having an argument, you don't just always come out like you're wrong or everything. There are right ways to go about this. You understand? Try to see from person's own perspective. We're trying to show what trying to share your own ideas or what you think about the project or how you guys should really get paid and all. So the right approach is alignment. Okay, I see your point. If we structure it this way, we can also achieve it this way. You understand? Most times, what's actually being discord or disagreement within people is not. Most times, it's not something so serious. It's just words. It's just words. Between discussions like this, people get people get triggered because of the words you use. Sometimes you might think, "Oh, I didn't do anything. We're just discussing and all of that." But actually, those words you use, especially because of you're discussing with an MD in chatbot, somebody that has risen to that level, and you know they are the one that's trying to give out this contract, and then it's the way you're making use of words because maybe you're the one that's going to execute the contract and all. You understand. So the right about oh yeah, I see your point. Even if we are going to you don't want to give us the well to jail, at least you could give us orders. Because we have this equipment and it's not take us long to do this because of you understand the words and all of that. If we structure it this way, we can achieve that. This that's the strong direction to strengthen it further. Let's add. I'm just these are just words I'm just putting together to make you understand how you can manage egos. The psychology, of this is let them own the vision, you execute and enhance it. That's it. Everyone might have a project that they want to do. It is their project. They have the vision, they have the idea, they have the mindset of what they want to do. Don't go in try to sell them your own vision. Oh no, you guys are doing it all wrong. Yes, I know you got your company to this level, but I think in this thing, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. You don't do that. They own the vision. They just try to be the one to execute. Oh, fine, beautiful idea. I see what you guys are trying to establish in the next 5 years and giving us this project now to work on the next 5 years. We are going to be able to do this to make sure that you actually get this done. In fact, we think that if you're handling this project for you, you'll be able to get it done in 3.5 years or 4 years, and to meet you'll be able to meet your expected deadline earlier than, what was initially planned. The result is strong enough not to bend, smart enough not to break. You're strong enough not to bend because the truth is, like I said, like Gideon said, the game of influence, people will try to bend you, they will try to use you. But when you're strong enough not to bend, you need to always succumb to their will because, like I said, the negotiation is an agreement. You understand? Also, smart enough not to break, not so break when maybe their maybe jobs are getting too hard or you're pushing it too much or stuff like that. You understand? So you have to learn how to manage egos in the energy industry. If you know you're going to be a good business developer, you're going to go to business very well. Um, Apologies. I think let's cut down my slides. Um, okay, now what is the new energy economy? Now I'm just going to run through this. What is new energy economy? There is a shift from traditional fossil fuels to renewable energy, that's the solar and wind, low carbon solutions, energy efficiency, electric vehicles. EVs are doing a lot. Now there's a lot of discussions around EVs now, hydrogen and biofuels. You understand? So most energy industries, most oil and gas industries are they're not fully pivoting, but they also know that the times are changing, and you also have to change along with the time. Because the truth is that if you get stuck in what you're doing right now and you don't follow the change, um, you're going to be shocked where you find yourself, in the next few years. That's why you have to also align yourself. If I just digress a bit, I think most of us might have seen the interview. I heard the story of is it Nokia? I can't remember if it's Nokia or what. I think it's Nokia. Where the CEO was speaking, I think it was in tears of crying or whatever. He said that they didn't know what they did, but Nokia just went out of the game. And so how many persons do you think is using a Nokia phone right now? So why was that? People were pivoting into, I hope it's Nokia, I hope I'm not wrong. People were pivoting into smartphones like phones that no buttons, totally screen smartphones, and everything was going smart. And Nokia was still there doing their whole button stuff, revolutionizing their button phones and all of that. And everybody moved on. You understand? How many persons have you met, last few years that is using a Nokia phone, you understand? So I think fear was crying. So if you don't go with the changing times, like you're going to be left behind because the world keeps evolving and doesn't wait for anybody. So even in the energy industry here, so you understand, as you know, we are shifting from the shift from traditional fossil fuel, although this is still going to take so many years. The full shift is still going to take so many years. Don't allow anybody to see like, oh, it's going to happen in the next, like within the next 10, 5 years, we're going to be fully shifted from no. Believe me, nah, it's not going to happen in the next 5, 10 years. There's not going to be a full shift, but there's still going to be a strong shift towards these areas, but not fully. We're still going to be using our the traditional fossil fuels and all that, our oil and all, but there's still going to be a strong hand in this part. And a lot of oil and gas companies and energy industries are also positioning themselves, even here in Joplex. We have little things that we are doing right now to position ourselves for this, but internal info. I don't have it's confidential. I can't share so much now in regards to that aspect. But most of you understand what I'm saying from things that you have been seeing online from the energy world. You understand, especially in you know um energy industries in other parts of the world. I know in Nigeria there is a slow, very slow movement because of our government. It has so many strong hands in oil. But then in other parts of the world, there's this strong shift that's currently going on. So hydrogen, biofuels, electric vehicle, energy efficiency, and like this is the new energy economy. You understand? So why it matters for you. Traditional oil and gas companies are becoming energy companies. If you notice now, it's not oil. And if you really notice, I'm listening to the vocabulary a lot of energy industry use, or let me just say oil and gas companies use. You'll notice that they don't use the word oil and gas again. Now they use energy. You understand? A lot of companies now they don't call themselves oil and gas companies, they're in energy industries, and most of them that are pivoting their names, or if you see some companies, their names are now revolve around energy, not just oil and gas, because they know they're not just doing oil and gas again. There's a lot in the energy space now that they can incorporate. So they want their names and everything to, you know, compass around it. You understand? For instance, we have Hares Energies, we have I think there's so many companies that if you look at their names or their taglines or their description now, they are being known as energy industries, not oil and gas industries. So traditional oil and gas companies are becoming energy companies. You understand? Yes, they want to sound sustainable too. Thank you, Gospel. They want to sound sustainable too. You understand to know that they are pushing for this sustainable development. They're part of sustainable development. They're pushing for it. Even though most of let me don't say that, but they're pushing for it and all of that. They're not involved. They're not investing in offshore wind farms. Solar projects, carbon capture, EV charging networks, and all of that. Yes, and a lot of them are, doing projects around this, building projects around this. Soon, a lot of projects like this will be coming out, and oil and energy companies will be pushing for this kind of projects because so that they can deliver it. You understand? So this is the new energy economy, and this is how it matters to you. Strategies to position yourself effectively in this space, especially as students or recent graduates. Learn the whole picture. Don't just pick one side. Don't just I know students that are, you know, focusing on mainly is sustainable development, SDG goals, amazing, amazing stuff. Believe me, amazing stuff. I think I also pushed that during my time in SP and a bit of other projects, even during my time in NSC too. But now where you get it wrong is focusing on only that part. You need to also focus on the current economy, which is still the fossil fuel, while also focusing on this because other companies are doing it like they're encompassing everything together, and you'll be wrong to say you just want to focus on one part. You understand? Don't just pick sides, that is the other, and you understand both. Know how the oil market works, politics in the oil market, how to engage yourself in the oil market, the business of the oil market, just like we are discussing now, how renewable scale, and that the renewable energy, solar, wind, and all of that, the electric vehicles, how trading connects them, what companies are doing in terms of EVs, in terms of renewable energies, and all of that. Yes, and you need to understand how all of them works. Don't just fix yourself on one part because you don't know, you really don't know where you'll find yourself, and then you will need the idea that you have from this. Employers want a generalist who gets the big picture, not just someone that's focused on the sustainable development. Don't Not someone that just comes to the energy industry and you're just thinking, oh, tree plants and let's plant trees, or just come with only the idea of solar, of doing the other solar, except you're just trying to build a solar company. That's amazing. But when you're doing the energy space as a whole, you need to understand both one. Now, strategy two, follow the money. Follow where the capital is flowing. Government incentives, the US Inflation Reduction Act, the private equity funding, corporate venture investment, the hot areas right now, just like I highlighted here, carbon capture, green hydrogen, battery storage, grid modernization. I'm sure there's a lot of talk about carbon capture, especially because we're trying to reduce its effect in the atmosphere, especially in Nigeria. Like I said, Nigeria is still very, very slow. A lot of companies, instead of there's a fine when companies burn the gas into the air, because it affects the ecosystem. When companies burn this gas, there's a fine that they pay to, I think, NMPC. There's a fine they pay for burning this gas. Most companies, because of they don't have the capabilities now to store those gas and use those gas, because gas is very volatile and all. They burn it. They prefer to burn it and pay the money. Like, yes, we are going to burn it. So it's not this amount that you want. We'll pay you. We'll just burn it. You understand? But now, that can be saving them a lot of money instead of building the whole structure that they're going to store the gas, transport it, look for places that they will sell it, and all of that. But where it badly affects is the environment, the ecosystem. In Port Harcourt right now, I think there was a time in Port Harcourt where it was very serious. These black soups. stuff was very serious, giving people a lot of sickness. I think there has been a little bit reduction, not so much though. But then there was a time where everywhere was literally almost black. You understand? But now, policies have been very strong. That's why it's been less. But then Nigeria is still not doing a good job when it comes to that aspect. You understand? So carbon capture, the green hydrogen, who knows Michael Taiwo here? Michael Taiwo that worked with Shell, also part of I think they're spoken in NSH. Okay. So Michael Taiwo, you can just go on Twitter and look for him, ask Michael Taiwo. He's the owner of the Michael Taiwo Scholarship. Nobody have heard of Michael Taiwo Scholarship. Okay. So he's big on hydrogen. It was what he was working with majorly when he was with Shell. Battery storage. Battery storage. I think I have a paper I wrote with one of my supervisors in school on battery storage. Hopefully get published soon. And great modernization. Sorry, that's my time is running out, so I'll just rush through it. To build transferable skills, the technology changes, the business fundamentals don't. Skills that last, contract negotiation, project management, relationship building, financial analysis, stakeholder management. Stakeholder management and relationship building is key in oil and gas world. That's what I call the account manager then. You can call them stakeholder management and relationship building. That's what I did before. Stay flexible. Energy transition will take decades. This is what I was trying to say. Stay flexible. The transition from the old economy, that's the fossil fuels, to the new economy will take decades. It will take years. It will take so much years. It's not something that's going to happen. It's something that you wake up from the bed and get that that's happened. No, it takes so much years. You understand? So don't just be focusing on them while you live the present. Don't be focusing on the future while you live the present. You need to also understand the present and how to navigate it. Be ready for boom and bust cycles. That's when there's an oil boom or there's an energy boom. A time might come. There might be a time. There was a time when the oil boom happened, when oil was being discovered and all of that, and Nigeria moved from agriculture to oil. That was the oil boom. There's a time when who knows, next time might be everybody knows solar right now, but a new technology might come out and something about the solar world, and there might just be a boom in that industry in that part, or maybe it can even be wind. It can even shock us to be wind. The kind of technology that can be discovered and to just, there will be a great boom in the, energy industry when it comes to wind energy and or, anything can happen in the energy industry. Technological surprises, a new technology when it comes to drilling. I was at the general edition of the Monthly Economics in SP Lagos, and they're talking about a new drilling technology that could help drillers save it is cost effective, and so it's a lot. There's always technology coming out in the oil and gas in the energy space, so you have to be conversant. Political reversals, politics also play a lot because nobody can fully own will I say fully own a well in Nigeria because federal government, owns part of it. I think that is how every country works. The government will always own a part of it, and you just take a part. That's why it's always called a joint venture, a JV between that company and the federal government. So politics can play a big role, you know, in the energy space. It can run down your business or give you the platform to go. So new competitors are always springing forth in the energy industry. You understand? Like I said, once new oil wells are being opened, there's always new companies coming out, new companies growing. Sometimes some companies will merge to be able to buy an oil well and become an E&P or become bigger, stuff like that. It always happens in the energy space. So we need to be positioned. Adaptability beats with expertise every in a single area, always ready to adapt in the industry. In summary, that's the business development brings the opportunity. The account managers keeps and grows it. Like I said, the business development guys are the hunters. The account management guys are the farmers. They grow that opportunity so that they keep getting deals from these particular clients. Ego management ensures long-term success. You manage their egos. Apart from the fact that you do the project very well, you need to learn to manage these clients because so that you don't lose them, so that another person does not come and push themselves better than you, and you lose them because you didn't manage your client very well. Your focus should be on revenue and relationships. Even though you're trying to build relationships, you know you're also trying to make money so that, like I said, you don't sell yourself so and they trample upon you and don't pay you so well. You're trying to build more and make money, and you're trying to build good relationships for that money, for that flow to keep to keep coming. So that is my time. Thank you so much for listening. Please, moderator, over to you.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Messi. Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Messi. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. My phone was hanging there for a moment. So thank you so much, Mr. Promise Okeke, for that one. Can we all have a round of applause for our speaker for today's AOP session? Thank you for diving proper into the business side of the energy industry and for walking us through some strategies that we need to know, that we need to have, that we need to understand when we are diving into the energy industry in this new economy, most especially. Thank you so much. That was such
Thank you.
an insightful and intriguing session, and I'm sure each and every one of us today, we've taken a lot and we've also learned a lot. So once again, Mr. Promise Okeke, I say a very big thank you. All right, so
Thank you
moving
for
on
having me.
quickly. All right, thank you very much. Moving on quickly, we'll be going to our question and answer session. So, for every one of us on the call, if you have any questions, contributions for our speaker, Mr. Promise Okeke, you have the floor. You can unmute your mic and speak, raise up your hand if you want to speak, or type your questions in the chat box. So, we'll be having our question and answer session now. So any questions that you'd have for our speaker, you can unmute your mic and speak or just type your questions in the chat box. All right, guys, don't be shy. Let's feed in on our curiosity. Remember, curiosity kills the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. So, if you have any questions concerning the business side of the energy industry, please let's not be shy. It's not every day you get to speak or you get to ask Mr. Promise or KK questions like this. So let's utilize this opportunity very well because we might not have Mr. Promise or KK in the next like probably for a while, right? We never can tell. So please let's utilize this opportunity. If you have any questions regarding the business side of the energy industry, how to make money, how to make better decisions, questions or places you felt he didn't touch in his presentation because of time, right? Or areas where he said that you don't fully understand, you can go ahead and ask your questions. So I'll be giving a minute or two. All right. So Joshua has his hand raised. So Joshua, you can unmute your mic and speak. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Okeke.
Hi, Joshua. Good evening.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to ask this question. My question is, how did you get into the business development and the business side of the whole industry? How did you get into it?
Okay, thank you so much. So I think okay, Joshua, thank you so much. So basically, anyone can get into the business part of the energy industry. Yes, there's not how will I put it? There's not something that you have to study to get into that part. We have people in the business part that studied engineering. We have people that studied geology. We have people that studied marketing. We have people that studied sales and all. Just that you need to have a knowledge of the oil and gas industry because you can't sell what you don't know. Yes, and you need to have a knowledge of it, and you need to have the knowledge of it and have the right skills. You understand? You need to have negotiation skills. You need to have relationship building. You understand? I can say you need to have project management, so team building, and all skills to get into this industry. Then, then you apply. You get in your, you apply from companies. Most companies, if you don't have a track record of things that you've already done, you understand, or maybe places that you've worked and all of that. Most companies will take you in firstly as a trainee, you understand. So that is where you now prove yourself, you understand, and you get to explore more better options, you understand, more better, like get to see it from a whole like from a holistic view, you understand. Then after that, you're going to be able to get into much and more bigger spaces. So I'm saying this because there's no like it's not like it's focused on a particular set of people. No, everybody can be a can work in business development in the energy sector. Believe you me, every person, as far as you have the right knowledge on the oil and gas sector, and you can and the right skills, like I said, then you do great here.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Uh,
All right, thank you very much for that one, Mr. Okeke. So the floor is still open for more questions. You can either type your questions in the chat box or you can omit your mic and speak by first raising up your hand. So so the floor is still open basically for more questions. Let's ask our questions, please. For you guys, we have the chance to ask questions like how deals are structured or how companies stay competitive or where do even we as engineers fit into the commercial picture of the energy industry. So if you have any questions at all, you can omit your mic and speak. We'll be giving 2 minutes grace for that, and then in the absence of none, we'll just continue. So in the next 2 minutes, if we have no questions at all, would continue. All right, so I'll take it as the session was very enlightening and so okay, somebody has raised his hand. So yes, so our Vice President, Gospel, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, thank you very much, Mercy. Wonderful hosting, by the way. This question is to Mr. Promise. I want to just ask, how have you developed your business side as a chemical engineer? I'm sure that you have done some work on sales, marketing, negotiations. Did you read books, or was it more of practice? How long did you take to develop that part of you?
Okay, thank you, Gospel. Beautiful question. First of all, I'd like to say kudos to you, being the vice president of SPLA. So I always love it when I see people take positions, leadership positions. You understand, because you get to learn a lot and you get to add to the trajectory of your career. With this, you understand. So how I develop my business side in the energy industry from a more holistic point of view. Um, it took different, like I said, it's a lot of things combined, you understand, because I read books too. There are books that I read and also active participation in the industry. Because most times you can come into this industry, like you can come into this industry, and because of maybe you are new in the industry or you are new in the company, you might be placed like under someone. And a lot of times you might have the privilege to just stay back and let the person do the job. Then you know you're not doing so much, because you see a lot of people that get and be like, oh, they don't want to work so much, they don't want too much stress, they just want to stay back and let someone do all the job, and they just assist the way they can. You won't be able to get, you won't be able to learn so much or get so much out of the whole experience. So apart from the fact that I um I read books, so I think they're working in the companies like, apart from the fact that I read books, I was also able to, I'll be actively involved in everything that you're doing in Joplex. For example, now we are at SciPec. You understand? We are at SciPec. I don't know how many persons here attended SciPec 2025. So we were at SciPec recently, and there were so many different clients there. And actively, we went by ourselves. You know, some we spread ourselves different things. We went to meet different companies, different clients, and like push what Geoplex does. You know, so I went to push what Geoplex do. in general, our services, what we offer, how we can build how we can deliver projects with them. We're trying to build a line of, a chain of communication, and we'll take it up from there. And also, we need books because it's not just about learning, the business aspect. You need to also understand the financials. You need to have a bit of, financial knowledge so that so that you don't mess up, contracts and all of that. Because even as a business development department, you'll be having a lot to do with money. Yes, and splitting of funds, paying of different workers, different times, checking the split, checking the margin, making sure that Geoplex is actually profitable, not at a loss. You understand? Because you'll be in charge of a lot of things, although you still have managers ahead of you and stuff like that. But you still get to that level. So you need to understand, how to manage all of that and active participation in the industry. I read books like Sell Like Crazy by Sabri. I read, Atomic Habits. I read The Power, Psychology of Money, you know, and then so I'm currently reading the so like a billionaire, become a billionaire coach. I need to pick up that book again. So currently read books and active participation. So because most times it's the experience that is going to make you better in this industry. And then you might read all the whole books and all of that, but if you don't actually get involved in these things, you might not know how a lot of things work. Because it's not one particular method that works for all clients. Most times, not one particular method. Most times, some of our big clients, which is Trevor, something we didn't joke like here. Some of our big clients, which is Trevor, when we have an issue, we go straight to their office. We go and meet them physically. There are other clients that we can call on call. We are able to resolve this on call. But you know how big Chevron is. You understand? Chevron is like mighty big. And if you have Chevron as a client, your company will even be happy. You'll be thanking God that you have Chevron as a client because you're making money. Most times treat them with very we treat them like an egg. So most of the there's an issue and we need to resolve. We don't resolve it over the call, over a Teams meeting. We go straight to their office. Sometimes our managers have to fly in from Port Harcourt, you understand, to go and meet them physically so that they can resolve this. You understand? So because that's what helps you, you understand, build this relationship and keep yourself afloat in the economic part and winning deals and all. So you need to be active, you need to actively participate because that's the only way you're going to grow in this, in this industry. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much for that one, Mr. Promise. I'm pretty sure Gospel's questions are has been answered accurately. So, do we have any more questions? Any more questions? All right. So, in the absence of none, we say thank you once again for this amazing session, Mr. Promise, and thank you to everyone that asked questions. And I really hope your questions were properly attended to. I'm pretty sure they were properly attended to. So yes, thank you so much for this session. The questions were intelligent. So really quickly, we'll be taking some key takeaways, and I'm sure we were all listening. But for those who joined in late, this session just basically taught us how to prepare for the real world in the business industry, right? So, okay, I think somebody asked a question in the chat box. I would look that up quickly. Oh, okay, no questions. All right, so moving on, key takeaways. The energy industry is as much business as it is engineering, right? And strategy determines sustainability. So you need to know the right strategies, and those strategies were explained to us today. And understanding the commercial and business side of the energy industry basically gives you leverage. So if you want to thrive in this new energy economy, you must think beyond your discipline, right? So he said think about value, think about negotiation, think about positioning, right? Ask the right questions, know when to say the right things and to the right people, right? Know understand the power of influence, right? So keep your feet on the ground and all that. So because the future belongs to professionals who understand both the technical, the business, and the tactical side of the industry. So thank you very much once again, Mr. Okeke, for that session. And to officially express our gratitude and give the vote of thanks, please join me in welcoming our Vice President too in the person of Gospel Arinze. So, Gospel, you have the floor, please.
Thank you so much, Mercy. And what a way to end and spend our Saturday evening. On behalf of the SP LASU student chapter, I'd like to thank Mr. Promise from the Business Development Department, Geoplex Geotech Limited. Thank you for a truly masterclass session. Understanding the commercial and strategic side of energy is just as vital as the technical side. So that's important. And today we're really grateful that you drove that home. Please let's keep the conversations going on our social media platforms. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for showing your love. Thank you for being here. And we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Stay safe and have a great rest of the weekend. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, thank you very much, Gospel. Really quickly, we'll be taking our announcements before we go off. So, announcements really quickly. Nexus 3.0, Nexus 3.0, Nexus 3.0. If you're excited, can I see your virtual reactions, please? Thank you very much, Success, Precious, Gospel, Nifemi. So, Nexus 1.0 was good. This works. Nexus 2.0 was better, but Nexus 3.0 is going to be way better than Nexus 2.0. I will be having, more Nexus coming up and coming up. So, Nexus 3.0 will be coming up May 2026. So, stay active, stay present, go out there, volunteer, post, repost, and share our flyers. If you have any sponsors, let us know. Let's just basically put Nexus 3.0 out there in everybody's faces. So, like Gospel has said, good night, everyone. Thank you for this session. Thank you to the speaker. Thank you so much for this amazing ALP. Thank you to the ALP and Energy for Me lead in the person of Demilade and the assistant in the person of Hosseini Abbas. Thank you so much for another amazing ALP sessions. Thank you to all of the executives in the SPE team, and thank you to the members of SPE LASU. So good night and stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you very much, guys. And I remain your humble moderator, Monsieur Bano, the sustainability lead for SP LASU. So have a nice night, guys.